second here. 1 second. I normally wouldn't go live at this point because I'm getting ready to go into a mentorship session in just a couple minutes. So for those of you who are just watching this, this is just not a norm, but I'm actually, number one, teaching this as an example so that those who are about to start in my mentorship session in just a little bit, they will see an example of sometimes we got to go outside the norm and do things we normally don't do. I think I'm going to call this mindset is everything, and I'm only going to talk to you all literally. I have maybe at most 10, 12 minutes to talk because I'm going into a live mentorship session literally at noon. And I'm actually going to use this as an example. In fact, let me see if I can grab this link really quickly here because people from my mentorship session are probably going to wonder, like, why is she live? And we're about to have a live session with her in less than 30 minutes. We've got to get out of these what I'll call a cage mindset that we sometimes can fall into. Hang on 1 second, you guys. I thought this was recording. So I just want to talk a little bit about, it's just so important that we understand that we actually have something to do with, we get to determine for the most part, or I should say create new circumstances in our lives. But so many times we get so caught up in what's not working out, right? Or we get caught up in our standard routines. And I'm getting ready to talk about that at about noon when I go live with my session that I'm about to have in a little bit. We get caught up into this conditioned thinking that we have, and we get so comfortable. And what I want to encourage you all with is that we have to start doing things outside of the norm. You've got to do something different. You can't keep doing the same thing and having the same results over and over and over again in your lives. Hang on 1 second here because this is recording. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over. And I wish I had time to spend a lot more time with you all because I really would love to walk through a couple points that I'm about to teach about at noon. Give me just 1 second here. For some reason, I'm still having some issues over here. But I just want to make sure I nail one point with you all. We have to have this, it's almost like a reprogramming of the way we think and process information and the things that we think about. We have to, it literally has to be a reprogramming in the way that we do things, even in our habits and our behaviors and the things that we do. One of the things I'm getting ready to do with them is I'm going to walk them through a self-audit, and I'm going to have them go through an audit of where they're spending the majority of their time. Now, some of them are watching this live right now because they know we're about to go live on our session, but I'm going to have them walk through an audit of where they're spending the majority of the time. How are they processing the way that they're thinking about, their circumstances? And what is it that they're doing to focus on becoming to this next level that we're all trying to get to? So I just want to read to you all just a little bit from chapter 12. If you all have your book necessary, turn to it. 9 or so minutes that I can talk. And it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to go live on this platform because something's happening with that one. So let me just shut that one off. Give me 1 second. But if you guys have your books, turn really quickly to necessary and turn to page 141. I want to talk about this cage mindset we can be in. Sometimes you can be locked in a cage and you don't even know that you're inside of that cage. You don't even realize that you're playing those same tapes over and over and over again. And you don't even realize that you actually have the ability to decide what kind of day you want to have and who's the person you want to become for that day. Now, I can't go into a lot of detail about it because I said before I'm getting ready to go live literally at 12 o'clock on the dot into a mentorship session. And their whole focus today that we're talking about is how on earth do we create new realities and new circumstances in our lives? And exactly what steps and processes do we go through to get there? Because it makes a difference in terms of the way we think, the way we're processing our information. But let me read to you all a little bit from chapter 12. I'm going to read a little bit from Cage Mindset, and I'm praying that this encourages you all. It says, I've outgrown this cage. It can no longer contain the greatness God has inside of me. I must fly higher to see what's beyond my reflection in this mirror. I must rise above what I thought was possible for my life. I can't keep this limited mindset. I'm uncomfortable. My dreams are too big for this tiny confinement. It's time for me to fly. God is calling me higher. I've outgrown this cage. Now, if you all have attended some of my lives in the last couple of days, one of the things that I've been asking you guys, I've been talking about is some of you are uncomfortable and some of you are frustrated because you're not in alignment with what you need to be doing in life at this point, because you know that there's something greater inside of you that you should be doing. You actually know it. And that uncomfortability, let me put this book down a second, that frustration that you feel, that's because we know that there's something greater. And you guys know I'm not making this up. You know that there's something greater inside of you that you're supposed to be doing. Some of you are in jobs and you're in positions where you know this is not what you really want to do. And I understand we have bills to pay. And I talked about that just the other day. I totally get that. But I'm hoping that right this moment, because I was not planning on going live, so there must be one or two people that really need to hear this. I'm hoping right this moment, something inside of you ignites and something in you is like, you know what? I've outgrown this cage that I've become accustomed to. I keep getting up doing the same things, the same routines, right? Having the same kind of thoughts. I pray a little bit, I read my Bible a little bit, and I just kind of get about my day. And my day pretty much forms my reality and gives me whatever it brings forth, right? And I'm going to this job, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. I'm really not in love with doing that, but I'm just not happy in terms of the direction I'm going. And what I'm hoping that gets ignited in you all in these next 8 or so minutes that I get to talk to you, I'm hoping that something in you wakes up and you see, wait a minute, I actually have a choice in this. I actually have a choice in the way that I'm going to think and process this information. I actually have a choice in how I'm going to choose to see myself and in the decisions I'm going to make. I don't have to stay in this cage. I don't have to keep this limited mindset. I get to decide how I want to go about my day. I get to decide the paradigms that I'm gonna operate from. And I wish I had more time to talk to you all about that. For those of you who are on this live right now, we already are going to go into much more detail about this in less than 20 minutes when we have our live mentorship session. And for those of you who may want to join, you can jump on in there and join us if you want. My site is Unlocking Greatness. It's unlockinggreatness.com, and the link is in my bio. Anyone that gets in there, you'll be able to join us in just a few minutes on our next live session, just so you know. But you actually get to decide. You actually get a choice in this. I don't want you all thinking that you're stuck. And I don't want you thinking that life has to continue and stay the way that it's looking. Now, I'm only talking to you all like this is because I didn't know this. I thought your life just kind of brings to you whatever it brings to you. I honestly didn't realize that my thoughts and the way that I'm processing information also has a lot to do with it. I thought this is just the way life has turned out, you know. Some people got it good and some people don't, right? Or every time I'm working on something and things are not kind of going to the next level, like what's going on. And I always thought it was something outside. I never knew, no one ever told me this, that it was something inside. So when I would read those scriptures, faith is being sure of what we hope for, certain of what we don't see, or be transformed by the renewing of your mind. When I would read those passages, I would read it, but then I would still be stuck with, but how do you do that? How exactly do I go about walking in authority? I was telling this lady, a friend of mine the other day, and she may be watching this live, I don't know, but she's got a pretty big meeting coming up, and she was talking about how tough this one person is. And, I'm just sure she's just going to kind of rip my presentation apart and this and that. And I had to stop her right in the middle of that. I says, whoa, 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 whoa. I says, baby, you got to realize the words you speak are like prophecies. That's just how powerful you are. You are an heir of God. When you're speaking these words of negativity, you're prophesying over your life. This is what the earth needs to bring forth to me. Your words are almost like prophecies. So what I want to encourage you all to do, and I've got just a few more minutes to be on this live, I want to encourage you all to start thinking about the way that you're thinking, how you're processing your thoughts. And I want you to think about what is it that's consuming you throughout the day. In fact, let me ask this question real quick, because I've got almost 6-7 minutes. I can talk a little longer. Now, for those of you who are already in my mentorship, you guys just wait until we get together, because we're about to do a whole self audit. I put together a really, really good audit by the grace of God that we're going to do. And you guys already know we're meeting at 12 o'clock in just a few minutes. But we're not only going to talk about this subject matter, we're going to go deeper with it. And we're going to go into more of an audit over how we're processing information, an audit over what are the patterns and the principles that we're going to be applying, and an audit over how we're deciding to move forward. But for the sake of this live, because I'm only live for a few minutes, I just want to get a few comments from them. So I want to know from you all, what is consuming your thoughts throughout the day? What are you mainly thinking about? Let me see this. Darlene says, good afternoon. Thank you for your heart and helping others. God bless you and your family and all that concerns. Thank you, Darlene. Thank you. Latasha says, we're walking in freedom and Christ. Eunice says, how do I join? My site is Unlocking Greatness. It's unlockinggreatness.com. The link is in my bio. And if you do decide to jump on in there and join, as soon as you go there and sign up, go immediately to the community. There's a tab in there called Community, and you're going to see we've already posted the live Zoom link in there. And I guess I'll be talking to you in a few minutes because I always welcome all the new members. But it's going to be a really good session we're about to have in the next 20 minutes. But I want to ask you guys this question. So so someone says my future financially. Okay, so that's what's consuming you, Treely. What else, baby? What else? So someone says my goals and not doing anything about it. Okay, so I appreciate your honesty there. What else? What else? Someone says I'm consumed by financial struggles. Okay. Someone says my family is my concern. Okay, Eunice, Eunice just said I'll join. I'll see you in less than 20 minutes then, because we're going to be going live in just a few minutes. Make sure as soon as we go into the community, as soon as the live starts, raise your hand so that I can meet you on the Zoom call and talk to you for a little bit. Let me see. Latasha says we're walking in freedom with Christ. Good afternoon. I love you. Thank you, baby. What is consuming your thoughts? The family issue. Okay. Someone else says love, life, learning, job, and family. Oh, Arlen, Aylin, I love what you just said. You just said regrets and insecurities, because that will eat you alive when we have all those regrets and insecurities. So let me talk to you for a minute, Aylin, because I've only got about maybe give or take 5 or so minutes more to be on this call. Let me just go I'm just going to go a little bit into what I'm about to teach about in less than 20 minutes because you said regrets and insecurities. When you are replaying those tapes over and over again, which is what we do, right? Because we don't know better. We pray, we read our Bible, and we just don't know what else to do, right? Am I right, Ayla? You're reproducing those same thoughts and those same feelings all over again. Remember, I talked about the importance of, I don't know how many of my training sessions you've joined, but remember I talked about the importance of sometimes we pray and we read our Bible, but we don't know what to do next. And then when we look up year after year, we're having the same kind of results. Well, many times it's because we're operating from that same paradigm. And when I say paradigm, that's nothing more than like a series of like habits. Like it's almost like what you stand up on. Like just think of it as a lot of habits, a lot of routines, kind of like conditioned thinking. That's probably a good way of putting it. And so when you're focusing on those insecurities, all you're doing is you're producing more of the same. So you have to be transformed. Remember how the Bible teaches us be transformed by the renewing of your mind, right? We read that passage, but we don't really know what that means. I mean, what does that mean? We just pray more? Like, what does that look like? How do I do that in terms of my personal life? How do I do that in terms of my business life? Well, I had no idea how important it is that, number one, repetition is very important. But number two, what are the thoughts I'm feeding myself? What are the biblical patterns and the biblical principles that I'm following? Before I set about my day, like before I left my house today. Oh, thank you, baby. Thank you, Angry Charlie, for that. I appreciate that. What you guys don't know is before I set about my day, I already saw this moment. I already saw it. I already visualized and saw it because I see who God has me becoming. And I spend so much time. If you guys can be in my house and see how much time I spend on the weekends and in the evenings, because I don't really watch television and stuff, which is a whole nother thing I'm going to talk to the mentees about in just a little bit. I spend so much time focusing on becoming. Who is this person that God has me becoming? What does it look like? What does it look like that she's going to be doing for the day? So guess what? Before I walked into my office, I already saw this. Now, I knew a lot of things would probably be coming at me left and right, and it did when I walked in here, but I already saw this. So as it's getting closer to me teaching my mentorship session, which I teach at noon, right? I remember, wait a minute, I already visualized and saw and claimed in the spirit. No, I'm going to be teaching a quick little 10, 15-minute class to help somebody. I got to go out there and help my babies. I got to lift somebody up. Right? This is what gives me my energy. This is what gets me going. This is what me knows I'm walking in my anointing, right? And so even though all these things were coming at me and I was trying to get some other things situated, and I never really go live before teaching a class. My staff knows about an hour to 2 hours before I go live, nobody can even bother me or touch me because I'm literally in a zone, right? But I already saw it. So guess what? Now I got to walk in it. So now I don't feel the pressure. I don't feel the stress, right? Even though I'm about to teach this session in about the next 15 minutes, I already saw it. But if I sit down and I focus on what's coming my way and I keep focusing on those insecurities and what's not working and this and that, then that's what the earth is going to yield to me because you're just that strong as an heir of God, baby. I wish I had more time with you. I really do. If you do decide to join and get in there, there's still some time. Just go to unlockinggreatness.com and sign up. And I'll see you in less than 15 minutes. But even if you don't, I just want you to walk away with that nugget because I love what you just said. Okay, anyone else here? Really quickly. Dana says, old things are passed away and he has made all things new, shift into the present, which is today. Come on, Deanna. Come on. Say it again. Come on, come on, come on. So someone says, I can't wait to join the session in a few minutes. Well, I look forward to seeing you, baby. I do. Just go to unlockinggreatness.com. And as soon as you get in there, really, you don't have to go to anything else because we're about to start in 15 minutes. Just go straight into the community. You're going to see the live Zoom link is already posted. And we're going to be talking in just a little bit. But does this help you all to understand where I'm coming from? Is that we actually get a choice in how we're going to respond to situations. Like when we wake up in the morning, when we get about our day, when we think about things that are not working out, it starts with the mindset. I've said that again and again and again, and I don't know if it's sinking through. And I'm trying to let you guys know this is something I was unaware of. All I knew to do was to pray, go to God, keep praying, which that trumps everything, just to be clear. That's all I knew, right? Work hard, right? Continue to work hard, and that's about it. And then year after year, month after month, kind of the same mess was still happening because I was busy responding to situations. I told my friend the other day, I said, she's got this pretty big presentation coming up, and actually she's going to join the Zoom as well. But I said to her, I said, you know, with this presentation going up, she says, you know, Z, it's a tough lady that's going to be in this presentation, and I think she's going to give me a hard time and blah, blah, blah. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, not only are your words prophecies, I said, but before you go into this presentation, are you aware you need to go into this meeting in the spirit before it happens? And she looked at me like, what? What are you talking about? I says, baby, oh my goodness, I wish I had more time with you guys. Go ahead in the spirit first. Become that person first. Get there first. Walk through the meeting first, right? Right? Does that make sense? Become it first. So when you walk into that room, first of all, God has already gone ahead of you. When you walk into that room, you already know the outcome. And even if something should happen, you know, some other things happen or whatever, you've already dealt with it in the spirit first. This is how we create our circumstances, you guys. This is how we create new realities for ourselves. So I really got to go. I've got just a few minutes, and I'm about to go live into my mentorship session. For those of you who are in my mentorship session that's about to join, we're getting ready to talk through paradigms. We're getting ready to do a whole self audit. So make sure you have your notebooks and everything ready because it's going to be really, really good. And then we're going to talk about the importance of how you need to be truthful with yourself. So it's going to be a pretty heavy session, but it's a session that we need because in this particular session, what we've agreed to talk about today is, okay, there's no more negotiating with myself. I can't stay in this same rut, this same routine. How do I create new circumstances and new realities in my life? What does that look like on a daily basis? So those are some of the things we're about to talk about for those who are already getting ready to join me at noon. For the rest of you all, I love you. I love you. I love you. I pray that this little nugget has been helpful. I really, really, really pray that this has been helpful. So just as a quick recap, you actually get a choice. You get to decide how you want to show up. So right now in this moment, for those of you, because I got to get off this live now, I've gone over my time. Right now in this moment, you actually get to decide how you want to spend the rest of your day. You get to decide what your thoughts are going to be on. You get to decide how you're going to show up. Go back and watch some of my old videos. I've talked about understanding patterns in the spirit and understanding biblical principles because you definitely got to know that to be able to stand up on something. But you get to make that decision now. So you don't even have to have the same day that you just had. Yesterday. You don't have to have the same day. You actually get to decide. You may say, but Z, that's easy to say. My circumstance didn't change. Baby, I know that. That's because you're looking at it in the physical. You think all my circumstances have changed in the physical? Are you kidding me? In the physical. But then when you go ahead in the spirit and you're commanding what is to happen and you're walking in that new person that you're becoming, that's why I just read from my book Necessary, the chapter called Cage Mindset. What did I say in this? I've outgrown this cage. It can no longer contain the greatness God has inside of me. I must fly higher to see what's beyond my reflection in this mirror. Not going to look in the same mirror every day and complaining and dealing with the same mess as short as life is. Are you kidding me? Life is short. We're just here for a minute. Literally just a minute. So why on earth am I going to sit here and keep having the same results and going through the same mess and worry and complain about it? Where is that getting me? If I'm an heir of God and if I'm a co-heir with Christ, shouldn't something be different in my life at this point? Come on. It goes on to say, I must rise beyond what I thought was possible for my life. I can't keep this limited mindset. I can't keep this limited mindset. I'm uncomfortable. And that's why some of you are uncomfortable right now and frustrated because you know God has called you higher and you're sitting there or trying to figure it out on your own or not getting the help you need. My God, my dreams are too big for this tiny confinement. It's time for me to fly. God is calling me higher. I have outgrown this doggone cage. Life is too short for me to still be caged with this limited mindset. I love you all. You guys know I do. I've gone over on my time by 4 minutes because I've got a live session literally in less than 10 minutes. For those of you who are in my mentorship session, please make sure you be in there on time. We're starting at noon on the dot. Have your notebooks and journals ready. I'm letting you know now it's going to be a little bit of a heavier session today because I'm going to be challenging you on some things. We're going to work on some good mindset exercises with creating new realities, new circumstances, and we're going to do a self-audit. So get ready for that. For those of you who are just joining, you're welcome to join us. My site again is unlockinggreatness.com. Again, it's unlockinggreatness.com. The link is in my bio. If you jump on in there now and join, the first thing you do as soon as you sign up, go directly to the community. The Zoom link has already been posted, and get your butt in this Zoom call we're about to have in less than 9 minutes. And hopefully these nuggets will help you as well. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. If I have time, I'll try to go live a little bit later today. But I've given the majority of you a huge nugget to chew on that should be changing the trajectory of your day. If you just put just that one little nugget I just gave you into action, that should change the rest of your whole day. All right. I love you guys. I got to go. I've got to get into our meeting because some of them are already sitting in there waiting on me. Love you, love you, love you. Oh, thank you for putting the link in there, baby. Yes, it's called unlockinggreatness.com. Love you guys. Mercy says, amen, in the spirit of new mindset. That's what it's all about, Mercy. We can't keep doing the same thing, right? You know, I'm all for praying. You know I am. We need to be praying and reading our Bible like you wouldn't believe. But if we don't change this mindset and get things right and even understand what paradigms are and how we're operating and what are some of the thought processes and what we need to do, then we think God's not working and God's not moving and God's sitting there like you ain't commanded it yet. You haven't been. Can you please become what I've already promised you? You ain't even commanded it. I've already given you the authority. How about you command it and go get it? Oh, I wish I had some more time. All right. Love you all. I got to go. Bye-bye. Love you guys. Someone says, how do I join? Baby, just go to unlockinggreatness.com. The link should be in my bio, but it's unlockinggreatness.com. And as soon as you sign up, go straight to the community tab, and I'll see you in about 5 minutes. All right. Love you all. All right. I'm trying to log out of here now. Okay, let me get on out of here. Okay, see you in a minute, Claire. Bye-bye.